Well, hey, my fellow veterans out there, how you doing this evening? Hey, still don't know what the sun looks like here in Ohio. Haven't had sun in a very long time. It's been raining almost every day. But hey, some sad news first is unfortunately David Root cannot join us tonight. He's had surgery and is unable to come on the show tonight. But we will have him on once he feels better and is all healed up. And when he does come on, we'll talk about pending legislation in the state of Ohio. So tonight, instead of David, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about why it's important to be proactive in your own health care. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get things started, shall we? All right, everyone. Like I said, we're going to discuss why it's important to be proactive in your health care. Now, the reason this is coming up is several veterans have come to me that filed under the PACT Act for having constrictive bronchiolitis. And they were denied because constrictive bronchiolitis really isn't, well, I believe it is one of the presumptives. But the thing is they were told that there's no evidence in the records. No evidence in the records saying that they were diagnosed with constrictive bronchiolitis. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is even if you're not in the VA system, if you're not in the VA system, you should be asking your doctor to go over your records with you. When they put their notes into that computer, ask them if you can watch them put it in so you can see exactly what they're putting into your records. Now, I do that at the VA. I'll ask the doctor if they say, hey, look, this is what we found. I'm going to ask the doctor if I can watch them put that into the computer. Because once they hit enter, they can't withdraw it. All right. Now, if you are in the VA system, how many of you actually use myhealthevet online? Even if you don't have a computer at home, you can go to the library and access myhealthevet. All right. Let me put this up on 100% full screen for you here. Not wrong way. Do it like this. All right. myhealthevet. I think you can see up on top, it's My Health. I'll put it in the scroll here. We'll put it in. Yeah, we'll put it in this one here. All right. myhealth.va.gov. All right. That's where you want to go. If you already are not registered on myhealthevet, then you will have to click register, create an account. It's easy. It's real easy. Then once you are registered, you can check what prescriptions you're on. You can refill your prescriptions from there. You can track the shipment of your prescriptions. You can track your upcoming appointments. You can actually cancel and schedule appointments on myhealthevet. If you see where it says messages, hey, you can send your any specific doctor that you see, your primary care or your specialist. You can send them a message saying, hey, I'm having these symptoms. Their nurse will get a hold of that message, get in contact with the doctor, and they will get back in contact with you on what you should do. Then here's the thing that I really like about myhealthevet. You can see where it says health records. You can view, print, download a copy of your VA medical records. All right. Now, once you are logged in, okay, you can see where it says view my appointments and inbox, compose message, refill VA prescriptions. All the way over on the right, you can see where it says blue button medical records, labs, and tests. Then underneath that, it'll have pathology and imaging. To view your records, you click on blue button medical reports. Okay. That's going to take you to another page. It's going to ask you to select type of report. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down where, well, yeah, then it's going to, well, first it's going to take you to another page, download my selected data. So then you will scroll down. Seeing me, I unfortunately clicked electrocardiogram. I don't need to see that. But you see where I clicked VA notes. Now, if you notice in the blue next to it says available 36 hours after completion, except C&P notes. All right. Those are pretty much right away. But within 3 days, you should be able to view the most recent notes from your last appointment. Once you click on notes, you'll scroll down, click on submit. And then it'll bring you to this page. As you can see on the very right, you want to use the top one because that has all the information in it. You can either click on view or you can click on download PDF so you can keep it on your computer. Let me put to you like this. If you download your medical records, chances are it's going to use up all your memory because your file is probably going to be almost as big as mine. All right. So you don't want to, unless you absolutely need to download it, I suggest you just click on view. And once you do that, it'll pop up. Your entire medical records are right here. All the notes to every doctor, every specialist, every nurse, let's say you go in for a sleep study, those notes are in there. It's all in there. It will all pop up unless you put it in for a specific date. And you'll see that when you click on view medical records or blue button records, it'll ask you if there's any specific date time frame that you want to put in. Now, Once you're there, you can click on your health summary, which is what you pretty much put in yourself. And one thing I did not make slides for is the electronic record sharing option. I would suggest say yes on that. Because let's say you're out on vacation, and all of a sudden you start having chest pains, you think you're having a heart attack, they rush you to the closest emergency room. This gives the VA approval to go ahead and send your records over to that hospital you're at. Also, you're able to go on there and say, hey, I need these records sent to this specific doctor. Because if you're seeing a doctor outside the VA and you're not on community care, this will allow you to send those records to that doctor. So that's a good option there. But what I have highlighted here is view medical images and reports. All right. And what happens here is every image you've ever had done will pop up. You can click on view reports to see who the radiologist that read the image. You can read those notes. You can also request to see the images. They will send you copies of the images. All right. You just click on request images and they will send them to you. I believe you're also able to, from that, send them to an outside doctor. Instead of them sending them to you, they can send them straight to that doctor. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this, folks, is because you got to become proactive in your own health care. Many of us are very sick. But like I said, some veterans are being denied under the PACT Act because what they're saying they are diagnosed with isn't in their records. You got to make sure if the doctor says, "Hey, I'm diagnosing you with this. This is what you have." You got to make sure it's in your records. I'm not saying they do this on purpose. Mistakes happen. All right. But you got to make sure you are the one making sure that stuff gets put into your records. Now, we can argue about, that the VA is bad. I don't trust the VA or anything like that. But, folks, this right here is a tool that the VA implements it to help you help yourself. So I suggest every time you go in for a doctor's appointment, within, let's say, a week after, within that week, check the notes. Make sure what the doctor told you is in them. If it's not, then let's go back to right here, messages. And if the doctor says, "Hey, we found that you have this," and you see it's not in your notes, message them. Send them a message. Trust me, they get these messages. I use this quite often, and I get a reply back within about an hour. Sometimes it might be the nurse says we need a little bit more information, and they tell you what they need. You can send it to them within the hour, unless they think you need to go to the emergency room. They're going to call you then, say, hey, look, what you're saying is happening. You need to go to the emergency room now. They don't mess around with sending you another message. They'll call you. I've heard many veterans say, hey, that messaging system helped me out a lot. So utilize it. It's a tool for you. Not a tool for them. It's a tool for you. Use it. If you can't remember when your next appointment is, boom, right there to the left in messages. View my VA appointments. Community care appointments show up in there too, or at least they're supposed to. I'm not going to say it happens for everybody. I know mine does. But also, if we go all the way back to health records, let's say you had blood drawn 3 days ago, labs and tests. Let's say you had your gallbladder removed. Run our labs and test its pathology reports, because they're gonna do tests on that gallbladder they just took out of you. Now those reports will be right there, where it's at. I know you can't see it on my screen, but where it says pathology reports, boom, right there it is. You don't have to wait 2-3 weeks before you go in for your follow-up. A few days later, it's going to be in your records. If it's not, then you go into your follow-up appointment after your surgery and say, hey, how come this pathology report isn't in my records? They'll get it taken care of. Now, if for some reason you have trouble logging in to myhealthevet, get somebody in your family or a neighbor or a friend that's computer savvy to help you out. You don't have to put in much personal information. But one thing I didn't mention about myhealthevet is there's a direct link to all the information you need to know about the PACT Act. See if you qualify under it. To see if the PACT Act will help you. Just click on that. It takes you straight to all the information you need to know about the PACT Act. And as you can see up here too, it says, welcome, has my first name. Don't worry about premium or whatever. You don't have to pay any money on myhealthevet. You just click on a few things saying, yes, I want this, or yes, I don't want that. And you become like a premium member on there. You know, it states what branch you're in, which is important. Tells you the last time you accessed myhealthevet. And as you can see, there's several things up on top too, like get care, that'll help you set up an appointment. Research health. That'll believe the research health is, it'll give you some videos to watch on how you can further help yourself, such as dietary needs, like if you're diabetic, stuff like that. Now, I've never had to use the contact us up there before, but from what I'm told, you get to talk chat with somebody pretty quickly. The search button, I'll show you what the search button does. So what I did is I typed in service dogs. Bingo. How can a veteran apply for VA veterinarian health benefits? All right. The VA itself does not provide you with a service dog if you need a service dog, but they can help. But they help you obtain one. And let's say they find you one, but it's 2 states over. They will pay for your travel, pay for your room and board, pay for the dog's trip back to your house with you when you're done with the training, because you're gonna have to train with the dog for a while before they let you bring it home. Okay, now I don't know if you watched a few episodes ago when I talked about service dogs. There's some little controversy going on. See where it says mental health mobility. If you read that paragraph, it's going to say, hey, your mental health provider has to send in a consult saying that due to your PTSD, you need a service dog. What I'm hearing is mental health providers are not doing that. They say, hey, this is a mistake. This shouldn't be in there. Well, let me bring this up here. Now, 38 CFR 17.148 covers service dogs through the VA. Mental health is not provided in that. And that's what they're using to keep from having to submit those consults. Saying, well, it's not in the CFR, but it's right here in black and white on va.gov. So, but if by chance you do get a service dog through the VA, this is what they provide. You're going to get health insurance for the dog, free of charge. It's going to cover almost everything. But the only thing it's not going to cover is grooming, nail trimming. All right? Look, if your dog needs a special diet and the veteran gives you a prescription for that food, that insurance covers that food. Otherwise, you got to pay for the food for the dog as well. Now, one thing I do need to stress here, the VA is not responsible for this dog. You are. It's your dog. The VA will never, ever take it away from you. Ever. Now, another thing that if you do go through the VA for obtaining a service dog, the equipment that the dog needs to help take care of you is also paid for by the VA. Such as harnesses, leashes, crate if you want the dog to be crated at night. Now, if you have PTSD, you want that dog sleeping not in the bed with you, but in your bedroom. Because if you're having nightmares and flashbacks, that dog needs to be able to get to you. If your diabetes is so bad that they give you a service dog to make sure that you get fair warning that your sugar's dropping or your sugar's going way too high, there's another reason why you don't want to crate your dog. Because it can happen while you're sleeping. Dog don't have to sleep in the bed with you, just be in the same room. We're gonna, kind of cut this episode short. Now, I want everybody to send some positive energy out to David Root so he does get better quickly. Veterans of the state of Ohio need David. David fights for us down at the state capitol. All right. So we need David back up on his feet soon. There's some pending legislation that we all want to see get passed. And David helps do that for us. Now, let me go ahead and take this off here. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, as you can see, my office area is all junked up again. But some good news. I'll share it here in a second. As some of you know, I run an organization called Veterans Assurance Network. They're the ones who present this podcast every week. And we got a phone system put in today, finally. So you'll be able to not only contact them at support@veteransassurance.org. And for those of you who listen to us on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, it's going to be in everything that I'm mentioning now is going to be in the description, such as the email I just gave. Support@veteransassurance.org. That's for Veterans Assurance Network. Now, what Veterans Assurance Network does, it's creating a network of smaller nonprofits that you all don't know about, or most of you don't know about. Let's say you go to a nonprofit and they say, hey, we're sorry, we can't help you. That you're either not in the era that we provide services for, or we just don't provide that type of service. This network is giving these smaller nonprofits the information on who you go to. If you need a portable oxygen concentrator, you contact Veterans Assurance Network directly. We'll help you obtain the portable oxygen concentrator free of charge to you, of course. But you got to make sure you got a prescription from a doctor for home oxygen. Then we'll help you get your mobility back by getting you a portable oxygen concentrator. Just the VA will use your tanks. Or a home concentrator. One you can't take on airplanes. Probably won't even fit in the backseat of your car. Them things are big. And they're loud. I know. I used to have one for several years. But there's other events that we do. Like we do a Christmas card thing every year where we ask people to donate Christmas cards with a positive message in it for veterans that are in the hospital or at the veterans homes here in Ohio. And we distribute those cards to those veterans. We're also going to be starting here in the next week or so, just starting to provide puzzle books to veterans in the hospital. And I got to give a shout out to Kappa Publishing. They're the second largest publisher and distributor of puzzle books in this country. They are starting this program off by donating a ton of puzzle books. Now, if you want to get involved with this in the state you're at and you live close to a VA hospital, contact us at support@veteransinsurance.org and we'll help you get programs like this started. Become an advocate with us. Help us help our brothers and sisters that are in the hospital. Or if you know a veteran who needs an oxygen concentrator, contact us. We'll help them get one. Like I said, they need a prescription by a doctor for home oxygen, and we'll help them get a portable oxygen concentrator. Yes, it'll be FAA approved so they can use it on an airplane. It will come with an extra battery, so they'll have plenty of power for a while. Now, let me also put this up. I just mentioned that we got a new phone system put in. And it's already on the website, but let me put it on here. This is our phone number. So, all right. There's our phone number. 567-970-3834. If we don't answer, leave a message. Tell us what you need. All right. Also, make sure you leave a phone number so we can get in contact with you. All right. Now, what else? Oh, yeah. We're in the process of planning our second annual rally against suicide. And we do that with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we're having several other organizations join us. And we will hold a rally downtown Cleveland, Ohio, in the month of September, which is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And we'll have all kinds of resources there. Of course, Veterans Insurance Network will have resources to help people who know veterans who might be suicidal. This year, we're going to have AFSP, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They'll be there. A local organization called Life Act. They help with counseling for people with like PTSD and everything. So what we do at this rally is we provide a positive atmosphere. We'll have music going, free food. We'll have last year, because it was all planned pretty quickly, we had sidewalk drawings where we had chocolate. Whoever wanted to could draw on the sidewalk. This one lady, oh my God. This one lady, she drew this butterfly. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I wish I had a picture of it. I probably do on my phone, but I don't have time to show you. Another thing is we had poster boards and all kinds of markers, so you could write a poster with a positive message that we posted so people that walking by could see it. And we held this rally last year right across the bridge from the Rock Hall. And we asked them to participate in this year, so we're hoping that they do. And like I said, if you feel like stuff like this, the puzzle books for veterans, Christmas cards for veterans, rallies against suicide is something you want to get involved with, but you don't live here in Northern Ohio, contact us. Support at veteransinsurance.org. Give us your name, your email. Tell us where you live, if you're close to a VA hospital. And we'll get you involved. Well, folks, I think that's going to be about it for tonight. But one last thing here. All right. Look, brothers and sisters, if you feel like you're going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, if you feel like life is just too much for you right now and you need to talk to somebody right now, call the Veterans Crisis Line, 988, then press 1. We had Air National Guard officer take her own life here a couple weeks ago. So let's look out after each other. Oh, that reminds me. Us here at Veteran Insurance Network have started an email campaign. Now, we worked with several, well, actually, I'm going to say almost all federally elected officials here in Ohio were involved with this, except for 2. I'm not going to mention names. But we worked with them and we got a resolution passed. Well, resolution was presented in the House, but the House doesn't vote on resolutions for this type. And I'll explain what the resolution was about here in a second. Now, it passed in the Senate on September 30th by unanimous consent. Now, what this resolution was a National Veteran Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day in the month of September. Unfortunately, it didn't get to the floor until September 30th. So September 30th, 2023 was Veteran Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day. We're trying to get it changed. Well, we want it to be permanent every year, and we want it to be September 22nd. So as you know, on average, 22 veterans a day take their own lives. A day. 22 a day. That is 22 too many. Now, one thing that we do here at Veterans Insurance Network is we're also giving talks on suicide prevention. And we're trying to educate not just the veteran, but their families, their spouses, their kids, brothers, sisters, mother, father, friends, neighbors. Because they're the ones who are going to notice the changes at first. And we're educating them on possible signs of possible suicide intentions. And then we also tell them, then we also educate them on VA benefits if your veteran is suicidal or is thinking about suicide. Now, there are local programs in every single city, so we cannot educate them on that. It's just way too much. So we educate them on what the VA offers. You'd be surprised what the VA does. It's all good. So we started an email campaign to the White House asking for an executive order to designate every September 22nd from here on out as National Veteran Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day. And how you do that is you just go to myhealthevet.gov, click on Contact Us, Send email, send contact president in the drop down box. Of course, you got to fill out the information it requests. Then you put in your message. And in your message, all you got to say is, hey, look, we need a permanent National Veteran Suicide Awareness and Prevention Day. And we want it on September 22nd. That's all you got to do, folks. If you want more information on that, contact us at support@veteransinsurance.org. All right. Hey, brothers, sisters, it's always good to talk with you. And not sure who, I think we're going to have Guitar for Vets on next week. So make sure you tune in, see how you can learn how to play guitar and get a free guitar. All right. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week.